Hi there. I'm back for today and tomorrow. Sorry I missed yesterday. I want to talk about this kitten situation that I'm in because it's been such a crazy month. In the last month, 7 feral cats have showed up at my house. Now, there's the set of 4 that were captured from a feral colony that my friend Tiris and I are trying to do TNR. So those 4, out of those 4, 2 of them are super feral. 2 of them are, I think, would be great house cats. Um, they're handleable, pettable, friendly, sweet. So that's them. So we've got Kevin and Graybeard, super feral. Bruce and Millie, super friendly. Then we have the other 2 kittens, which Tiris now has at her house. She calls them, I think, Ace and Gabe. I can't remember, but she has these two little babies who are very sweet, very loving, very handleable. They need a home. And then we have Milo. Milo used to be a family cat, and then his family moved and abandoned him in this neighborhood, and he just started showing up on our doorstep and other people's doorsteps. But not a lot of people in my town like have extensive resources to care for cats. I certainly don't, but I'm doing it anyway. So I've got Milo a shelter that has a warming pad in it, and he's becoming our front porch cat. And I'm earning his trust to where I can hopefully catch him and take him in to be neutered. And then he, for the winter, can live in our back studio. Because I'm trying to get all this is the thing. The snow is coming. The snow has come to the mountain. A week ago, the mountain was practically naked. Now there's white powder all the way down to the tree line. So that means it's going to be, it's coming. We're going to get snow probably by the end of the month down here in the valley or in the canyon. So I'm trying to get these kittens into places. So my 4 ferals are in my garage. They're being garage cats. I've got Milo on the porch and gonna put him in the back. And I just am doing a lot with cats right now. Oh, Joanne says snowing here today in northern New Hampshire. Wow. Yeah. It's coming. You can, it's creeping in. So, if anybody knows of anyone on the West Coast who would like a kitten, I have 4. I have an incredibly fluffy black girl kitten, super sweet, very shy, but very sweet. I have Bruce, a purr monster who I'm sure will be a lap cat, gray and white. And then we've got the 2 little black and white ones, Ace, who has a heart on the nose. I was calling that one Ace of Hearts. And I think the other one is called Gabe or Gage. I can't remember what she called the other one. But they're so sweet and they're little and they're hand trained. Anybody want a kitten? Also, I have Milo, an incredible ginger who's probably somewhere between 1 and 3 years old, very soft, very friendly, desperately wants to be a human's cat. He really is campaigning to be our house cat. He cannot be our house cat because we already have a lot of cats. So I know, I wish, I'm hoping if you know anyone, I'm going to post about them today. I'm going to put pictures of them online and say, if you would like to adopt these kittens, please, I will drive anywhere from Seattle to LA and meet you halfway. Like if you're coming from Seattle, I'll meet you in Portland. If you're coming from LA, I'll meet you in the Central Valley. Like I'm happy to get in the car and drive these kittens somewhere as long as the person is a good person and understands that these kittens deserve to be treated with the utmost love, care, and respect, because that's my number one thing is that with all the kittens I rescue, they go to loving homes. And I'm a crazy cat lady from way back. And I know that um, even these two really feral ones could be rehabilitated given time and adequate space and attention. But I'm ready to take on the responsibility of keeping the two ferals, getting them spayed and neutered, and turning them into our barn cats. And I have like a little heated pad setup thing for them already. So if those two that are not super, that are like bitey and scratchy and very feral have to stay with, I will, no problem. But if I could find homes for these other four, five, the four kittens, two kittens that are like about 3 months old, and two kittens that are probably about like 8 weeks, or Milo, the ginger love bug who just wants you pick him up and he's just here, like all over your face, and he just wants to cuddle you and be held. He wants to be the baby. He's the sweetest ginger boy. So now you know about my cat situation. Yeah, a small porch. Theodora's also got a porch cat, trying to get her to come in. It's hard. Churro sticks are your friend. If you're in this world, in this crazy world of feral cat rescue, churro sticks are like crack for cats. They love it. You can kind of start to train them to get closer and closer. That way they'll come for the churro stick. Anyway, please spread the word. I'm going to post today, and please spread the word that I've got kittens coming out my ears. And here's the thing on the subject of cat rescue, like I'm committed to it. I've been doing it for years. I've been rescuing cats for a long time. In the past, I don't know, in the past couple years, I've probably adopted out 30 plus kittens to homes. And so far, so great. I still get updates. I hear from the people. I get pictures. They're great. And I'm also committed to this trap, neuter, release program that I'm working on with my friend for this mountain behind her house, because behind her house, there's this hill. At the top of the hill is the freeway. Obviously, we don't want them going up there. But if they stay down at the bottom of the hill and she like just puts food out for that feral colony, what we're hoping is that we could eventually trap and spay or neuter most of them, because that colony produced three, or at least three, maybe four litters of kittens this summer alone. It was so much, so many kittens. I have personally had this summer alone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kittens from that hill. So anyway, I got up this morning, and now it takes 2 hours to complete all my cat duties, whereas it used to just take an hour. Now it takes 2 hours because I've got double the cats. I've got 7 extra cats. Now only 5 because Tyrus took 2 of them. Thank God. Um, and she has numerous cats at her place right now. So anyway, if anyone wants to help, support, I'm going to post the pictures today. Please share. Please help me find homes for these kittens. Have kittens will travel. I will bring them to you. All you need is to bring a carrier, and I will bring you everything else. West Coast. I will drive as far as the Bay Area. I will drive as far as Portland. I will drive as far as Reno. Like, because winter is coming and I'm nervous about all these outdoor cats. So, anyway, we've got heating pads, we've got blankets, we've got food, we've got the, garage setups. We put a heater in the garage so that it doesn't get too bad in there. We're doing it. We're doing it. But homes would be better. Okay. That's enough on the cats. I've but thank you for listening. And I hope some good will come. And someone will see this and be like, I want a cat. I want a special Yesha cat that has been loved and cuddled and, hand fed and, given special princess treatment. I want one of the lab cats that she's talking about. I'm envisioning this. All right. So this is my local action that I'm doing right now because there is very little that I can do other than pray about the things in the world, and my nervous system is completely overwhelmed by the feeling of frustration at all of the hellscape that is happening in the world, especially to these children in Gaza. And you think to yourself, I should be informed. And so you go and you look and you see the pictures and the videos. And then there's like a part of you that wishes you hadn't looked, but then there's a part of you that feels like, well, how dare you wish you hadn't looked, because that's a privilege to not look. People are living this, and then it's like, right, no, I should look. But then you look and then it's haunting, and then you're paralyzed and traumatized. It's hard to be feeling so paralyzed. So I'm caring for kittens because I would be caring for children if I had that kind of wherewithal. And I wake up and I have these moments of like, I just need to be the queen of the universe so that I can stop all this. And I know that's not the answer, but like my brain doesn't know, I'm at a loss what to do. And I'm praying, and then I'm mad at myself that all I can do is pray. Does anyone relate? Maybe you feel this way. I feel like I'm praying, and I know that it's good to do that, but then I'm mad at myself that that's all I can do. This is incoherent. All right. So I've said everything now about all that. And so all I have that I can do at this point is to lay it at the feet of Madrina. I can just put it there and say, I don't know what else to do. Help me. Loving homes for the kittens, protection for these children. Madre mía, Santa Muerte, ante las dificultades de la vida, ayúdame. En mis desaciertos, ilumíname. En mis soledades, acompáñeme. En las horas difíciles, fortaléceme. En más tentaciones, defiéndeme. En las peñas y tristezas, consuélame. Con tu inmenso poder, protégeme. Con tu infinito amor, ámame. Con tu gran bondad, mírame. Con tu mano providente, guíame. Así sea por siempre. Amen. Let's see what wisdom she has to offer us today. We are drawing from the Jade Oracle by Veronica Iglesias and Ann Key. Really beautiful depictions and um, well-researched material based on the Aztec deities. Tlaltecutl. Tlaltecutl. My first thought about Tlaltecutl is how similar, in one way, how similar the depiction here is to like a Sheila na gig. But we're gonna find out because I don't know. I don't know if that's actually an appropriate comparison. Espíritu de la Tierra. Tlaltecutl is the embodiment of the land, and she was considered to be the most powerful representation of chthonic earthly energies. Images of Tlaltecutl are found carved on the bottom of many Aztec sculptures. Okay, now that is unique and deeply specific, because if you go to see a lot of like coffins and stone crypts in Ireland and UK, other places, underneath, sometimes, often, not just sometimes, frequently enough, they will have Sheila na gigs carved on the bottom of the crypt. And what this is saying is that images of Tlaltecutl are also carved on the bottom of other statuary. The reason they're carved on the bottom of many Aztec sculptures is because this is where the sculpture comes into contact with the earth. One such image of Tlaltecutl appears on the bottom of the giant Coatlicue housed at the Museo Nacional de Antropología in Mexico City. You know, I tried to go the last time I was there and it was closed for COVID. I really need to get into that museum. Next year, I'm going to do a Dia de los Muertos trip to Mexico City, and take people there, and we are going to that museum. And we're going to see if we can see this Tlaltecutl carved on the bottom of Coatlicue. The stone colossus measures 13 by 11 feet and weighs 15 tons. Oh, I don't know if you can get under it. The colors of the original statue were red and brown tones, but in the card you see her represented in blues and greens, as if you're seeing the earth from high in the sky. Her name literally means earth lord. Tlali is land and Tecutl is lord. While the suffix of her name usually means male, she appears in stories as female, and her pictorial representation is decidedly female, usually in the birth-giving posture. Midwives prayed to Tlaltecutli in cases of difficult birth. Tlaltecutli embodies the duality of creation and death. She has her mouth open to give and receive in reciprocal relationship with those who dwell on earth. The tree of life grows from her jaws of death. The tree of life growing from her jaws of death completes this picture of the earth as both womb and tomb. Her mouth and the act of eating are analogous to birth and death. When Tlaltecutl comes to you, know that you are strong enough for the rite of passage that you are going through right now. You are ready to step into the darkness and then return to the light. This is so powerful. Because, of course, we are in that gateway between Samhain and solstice, and it is the darkening time, the season of endarkenment. I just wrote about it in the weekly newsletter last week to the members of the temple about how this is actually like ancestor season. To me, goes all the way from Samhain to the solstice. So it's not really done. It's we're in it. It's happening. And the fact that this time of year is punctuated with so many like family celebrations and memories and things like that sort of underscores that. So we have the Earth Mother calling out to us and saying, beckoning. Don't fight it. Surrender into the state of being wherein you have the capacity for rebirth. And there is no way to get through the dark time or to get to the light without going through this dark time. And this is actually like a perspective that I've had on numerous occasions about political topics where something happens and it is bad. It is bad. Like the overturning of Roe v. Wade. On the surface, it is bad. In terms of the impact on people's lives right now, it is bad. But on the other hand, if we are ever to get ironclad legislation protecting female physical autonomy, it can't hinge on this idea that Roe v. Wade gave us of permission. It has to hinge on inalienability. So the same goes for this conflict between Israel and Palestine. The reality is the solution that was created in 1948 to give refuge and solace to the Israeli people created the Nakba and the horrific displacement of the Palestinian people. And that is something that has never gotten peaceful. It has been problematic the whole time. It was actually problematic even before that. But this is like globally sanctioned displacement of millions of people. So now we are in this terrible time where there's this war and it's so brutal, and I'm so angry about the US funding it, and I feel super powerless about it. But at the same time, I think, well, maybe on the and the tremendous loss of life, it's horrible. But then I think, well, on the other side of this time of tremendous, tremendous loss and shadow, is it possible that whatever comes to be would establish a permanent sovereign state for the Palestinian people, a permanent sovereign state for the Israeli people, and whatever other fortifications for peace that need to be established in that region? And I cling to this. I cling to the possibility that we will have sovereignty in this country for women, that we will have sovereignty, protection of the institution of love being celebrated, sovereignty for farmers trying to keep their land free from commercial pesticides and genetically modified seeds. That in the Middle East, there would be that sovereignty for the people of Israel who suffered one of the most horrific massacres in history, and also the people of Palestine who have been suffering as a result of that through no fault of their own. And that's the thing, is that the people who suffer the most, it's not their fault. So that's what I'm chanting for today. I'm chanting for the little bit of do what you can that I feel about these kittens. I'm chanting for the whole lot of I don't know what to do about these world issues. I'm chanting for the possibility of crawling in this muck on our bellies through this dark tunnel, but emerging into light societally, globally, individually. And maybe Tlautakut and Shilanagig and Yea and Pachamama and all the other primordial earth mothers will hear us. That's our short bit today. Not super short, sort of long, but let's dive into our chanting. We're going to start with 3 prostrations before the shrine. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from today's practice. And let's recite the 4 immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this candle as an offering for Guan Xiyin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Oh. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guan Yin, remain until the end of samsaric existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, calling out to Guanyin and asking her to please be our light at the end of the tunnel. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Yin Pusa. And the prayer for the money reciter of Kam by Gyaltse Tokme Zangpo. Lama Dankun Shiksum Lakchak Salo Dakni Changchuk Nimpur Chike Bar Gangdang Gangdu Kepa de Dang Der Tadu Tuje Champo Jetsin Shing Kusum Gewe Chula Chipar Sho Jamdang Ninje Champo Kunlang Ne Tuje Champo Duljar Gerpanam Lame Changchup Chola Gope Cheer Tuje Champo Trinle Jepar Sho. Homage to the Guru and Three Jewels from now until I reach the essence of awakening. Wherever I may be reborn in that place, may I always carry out the works of the great compassionate one and dedicate my body, speech, and mind to virtue, inspired by loving kindness and great compassion, in order to lead all Mahakarunika's followers to supreme and unsurpassable awakening. May I carry out the great compassionate one's activity. Lama Dankun Shiksum Lakchak Salo Dakni Changchuk Nimpur Chike Bar Gangdang Gangdu Kepa de Dang Der Tadu Tuje Champo Chitsin Shing Kusum Gewe Chila Chaparsho Jamdang Ningje Champo Kunlang Ne Tuje Champo Chuljar Kepanam Lami Tangchu Jola Jope Chir Tuje Champo Drinle Jeparsho. 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, sending out the light from our hearts to all of those who are in shadow, defenseless, afraid, grieving, helpless. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of supreme bliss, Yeshe Wangmo, be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxin Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. And wishing everyone a good day, a day of connecting with the Earth Mother and asking her to please witness our cries for help and bringing joy wherever we can today. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. Bye now.